intense year, a lot of material success, and a lot of emotional stress. It's very hard on me and my family.
Allowing Blake to take discovery in order to uncover the alleged lengths, if any, that Baldoni's side may have gone to in working with notable anti-Blake content creators as part of the alleged smear campaign.
Hollywood's own Blake Lively just got special treatment again from the judge, allowing her to decide where Justin's deposition of her will be held. It's absolutely sickening. All this while also subpoenaing other YouTube creators for your subscriber data.
Something wild is happening in Hollywood, and it's spilling onto your phone screen. Blake Lively, the A-list actress known for her charm on red carpets, is now at the center of a digital firestorm that has creators across YouTube and TikTok sounding the alarm. In an unprecedented move, Lively's legal team has reportedly issued over 60 subpoenas targeting content creators and tech companies, demanding access to private user data. Her target? Anyone who's been talking about her ongoing legal battle with actor-director Justin Baldoni. What started as a quiet legal skirmish between two stars has exploded into a full-blown war over free speech, privacy rights, and who controls the narrative online. Content creators are being pulled into this battle, many of whom had no direct involvement, only opinions. Lively's legal team is alleging that Baldoni's side may be funding a coordinated online smear campaign against her, a claim creators are calling outrageous and defamatory. But beneath the legal jargon, one thing is clear. This isn't just about two celebrities anymore. This is about the power of platforms, the future of digital journalism, and whether Hollywood can silence its critics with subpoenas.
That Perez Hilton, Candace Owens, and Andy Senior have all been subpoenaed to turn over any and all communications with Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer parties. The subpoenas may be connected to the judge's order earlier this month.
He gave Blake yet another victory, basically allowing her to decide where she would be deposed, that she can be deposed at her attorney's office. Now, Baldoni's attorneys are arguing this is her using her celebrity status yet again to get her way, but the judge ultimately ruled in her favor. Now,
I am also just like everybody else in the sense that I take on more than I can chew. I overcommit. I say yes to things out of fear. I people please.
Behind the scenes, this all stems from a legal dispute between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni that's expected to hit the courtroom in March 2026. Right now, both parties are deep in the discovery phase, gathering evidence and testimony. But what's shocked everyone isn't the usual court filings, it's the tactics. Instead of focusing solely on Baldoni's team, Blake's attorneys have taken aim at dozens of social media voices who've been covering the case. They've filed subpoenas through Google, YouTube's parent company, asking for personal data, account info, and even email records from creators discussing the drama. The reason? Blake's camp seems convinced that Baldoni's legal team is secretly working with content creators to damage her reputation. It's a bold claim, and one that many in the online world say has no factual basis. Creators insist they've made their own judgments based on the evidence available, not because they were paid or influenced. But Blake's team is treating critical commentary like a conspiracy, and the result is a chilling legal maneuver that feels less like a defense and more like a warning shot to anyone who dares question a Hollywood star.
Foremost, let's just get into how I found out about this subpoena, because I want you guys to really comprehend like fully how fake and gay everything in Hollywood is. And this is a perfect opportunity.
The social pressures were there, but I never felt like I belonged, which is something that I still struggle with. And I think has become one of the greatest blessings in disguise. Like I felt like an outsider. Like I would walk into a party and I would want to fit in.
The subpoenas hit like a tidal wave. One by one, popular YouTubers, TikTokers, and independent journalists started receiving notices. Some directly from Google, alerting them that their account data was being requested in connection to a federal court case. At first, people thought it was fake, Even Blake Lively's law firm initially denied going after creators. But then confirmation came from Google itself. The subpoenas were real, and they were sent under valid legal policy. That's when panic turned into outrage. Veteran creators like Without a Crystal Ball, Andy from Popcorn Planet, and Sherry shared their experiences online, revealing the emotional toll and legal stress they were suddenly under. Most of them had no idea they were even on Blake's radar, until they were forced to lawyer up. Some called it a blatant intimidation tactic. Others described it as a dangerous precedent where celebrities use legal tools to suppress critical coverage. These weren't gossip blogs running wild with lies. They were seasoned creators, many of them survivors, parents, and professionals, simply analyzing a public lawsuit. And now their privacy and livelihoods are hanging in the balance, all for telling the internet what they saw. Blake Lively's legal team isn't just accusing content creators of being loud, they're suggesting a covert plot. According to court filings, her lawyers believe there's a coordinated smear campaign being funded by Justin Baldoni's legal team. The theory? That creators are being paid under the table to churn out negative content about Blake, pushing a narrative that damages her public image while helping Baldoni's case. But to the creators named in the subpoenas, this theory is nothing short of fantasy. Many have spoken out, saying they've never had any communication with Baldoni's side, let alone received money. They claim their commentary was based entirely on public information and personal analysis. No coordination, no conspiracies, just opinions. For many in the digital journalism space, this claim feels like gaslighting. It assumes creators couldn't possibly come to their conclusions without someone pulling the strings. But in reality, Blake's critics say the backlash comes from her own actions. Inconsistencies in her claims, alleged behind-the-scenes behavior, and how she's chosen to handle the lawsuit itself. The idea that this outrage was engineered by her ex's team, they argue, is a convenient excuse to avoid facing her own bad press. As the controversy escalated, all eyes turned to the tech giants caught in the crossfire, especially Google, the parent company of YouTube. When creators began sharing redacted emails from Google's legal team, it became clear this wasn't a hoax or a misunderstanding. The subpoenas were real, and Google had quietly complied with its user notice policy, informing creators their data might be handed over. The backlash was immediate. YouTube has long positioned itself as a champion of independent creators, offering monetization, copyright protection, and a platform for alternative voices. But this situation put that loyalty to the test. Could Google be forced to turn over private user information, emails, IP addresses, metadata, just because a celebrity didn't like the coverage? To its credit, YouTube clarified that it hadn't released anything yet, but that didn't ease creators' fears. Many saw this as a dangerous fork in the road. If someone as powerful as Blake Lively could pressure tech platforms to dig through a critic's digital footprint, what's stopping other celebrities from doing the same? The platform that helped creators rise could now be used to monitor, intimidate, and silence them, one legal notice at a time. Just as the subpoena drama reached peak chaos, Blake Lively's legal team threw another curveball. She filed a motion asking the court to issue a protective order for her upcoming deposition. The reason? She claimed she no longer felt safe. Her team argued that the deposition location should be moved and that anyone present, including attorneys and possible media, should have their identities disclosed beforehand. Critics didn't buy it. Many saw the move as a calculated attempt to either delay or completely avoid being deposed. After weeks of escalating tension, with creators speaking out, evidence being questioned, and her public image unraveling, Blake's sudden claim of feeling unsafe felt more like a strategic exit ramp than a genuine concern. Even more suspicious, her team cited offhand remarks from Baldoni's lawyer, joking about holding the deposition at Madison Square Garden as proof that her safety was at risk. But to observers, it sounded more like satire, an exaggerated call for transparency, not an actual publicity stunt. Either way, this new twist raised serious questions. Is Blake Lively trying to avoid scrutiny? And is this a legal strategy to retreat, rebrand, or remove herself from a lawsuit that's spiraling out of her control? As Blake's legal tactics grew more aggressive, an old story began resurfacing, her controversial time on the set of It Ends With Us, produced by Justin Baldoni's company Wayfarer Studios. Insiders alleged that during filming, Blake demanded excessive control, pushed back against creative direction, and even submitted a detailed list of demands to the production team. Now, some online believe what we're seeing in court is just an extension of that behavior, this time targeting creators instead of co-workers. Many fans and industry watchers say her actions follow a pattern: assert control, rewrite the narrative, and silence dissent. Several former collaborators have hinted at a culture of tension surrounding her, with Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds reportedly pulling strings behind the scenes. Some believe the current wave of subpoenas and the attempt to secure a private deposition are just her latest methods of managing public perception. Even worse, smaller creators who once gave her the benefit of the doubt now feel betrayed. Instead of taking criticism, they argue, Blake is trying to erase it. And in doing so, she's turning former supporters into whistleblowers, people now ready to speak up about what really happens when the cameras aren't rolling. As subpoenas fly and legal teams argue, a much deeper issue is coming into focus. Where exactly is the line between protecting one's reputation and silencing public discourse? For many in the creator space, Blake Lively's legal strategy feels like an existential threat. It's not just about her. It's about the precedent this case could set for every content creator who dares to speak critically about a celebrity, a company, or a public controversy. Lawyers and legal analysts are now weighing in. Some say this could reshape how courts view the First Amendment in the age of digital commentary. Others fear it's the beginning of a slippery slope, where stars with enough money and power can dig into your inbox, demand your private data, and treat every dissenting opinion as defamation. What's happening here isn't hypothetical, it's real. Subpoenas are being served, creators are being named, and at the center of it all is a courtroom test of whether commentary, especially the kind that questions celebrity narratives, can survive a full-blown legal attack. If Blake Lively succeeds, critics fear it could muzzle the very voices that have kept Hollywood honest in the age of digital transparency. Rather than back down, the creators Blake targeted are fighting back with transparency, receipts, and solidarity. One by one, they're sharing redacted subpoenas, consulting legal teams, and calling out what they see as a targeted campaign to intimidate critics. From Without a Crystal Ball to Popcorn Planet, creators are refusing to be silenced, and they're making sure the public sees exactly what's happening behind the curtain. Some are even coordinating legal responses. Sherry, one of the first to speak out, made it clear this isn't just about her YouTube channel, it's about press freedom, digital privacy, and standing up to abuse of power. Others echoed her sentiment, warning that if creators give in to fear, they lose the ability to hold anyone accountable, especially public figures who operate in the shadows of wealth and PR. Even viewers are rallying around their favorite channels, flooding comments with support and raising awareness about the stakes. This is no longer a fringe internet dispute. It's a high-profile clash between celebrity privilege and grassroots journalism. The message is loud and clear. If you come for the creators, you better be ready for the creators to come right back with the truth. As the court date inches closer, the tension around this case is reaching a boiling point. Blake Lively's protective order is still under review. Content creators are preparing legal defenses, and the internet is watching with a mix of outrage and fascination. Will the judge allow Blake to skip or shield her deposition? Will the subpoenas be challenged on constitutional grounds? And most importantly, will any of this reshape how creators are treated by the legal system going forward? Meanwhile, speculation is swirling that Blake may be preparing a quiet exit. Some believe her sudden claims of feeling unsafe could be a setup for withdrawing from the case altogether, citing emotional distress or fear for her safety. Others think this may be part of a larger legal strategy to delay, distract, and deflect attention from the growing backlash she's facing. One thing is certain: this case has already ignited a much larger conversation. It's no longer just Blake versus Justin. It's become a fight over who controls the narrative in a digital world where influencers, not tabloids, shape public opinion. And whatever happens next could change the rules for everyone, on both sides of the screen.